This is Pramita here. Today I'm going to do a tutorial sort of thing on how to paint on sticker paper. I had promised that I'm going to do this, and I know I have been late in posting this, but better late than never. Okay, so first thing we're going to need is a sticker paper. I have mine, not a very expensive one, because I try to do all kinds of things, but I got some very cheap. This is not stark white, but it's a kind of milky white sort of situation. And I'm going to paint on this using my watercolors. So the deal is that I I will begin my watercolor thing. So okay, so I have my Prima watercolors all in front of me, 3 palettes. And I'm going to just dilute them a little bit, but not too much, because this is basically a sticker paper, and the principle behind the sticker paper is the adhesive backing. So if you add too much of water, the paper won't be able to take that. So you have to be very cautious about the amount of water that you're using. It has to be very controlled. It cannot be too much, otherwise your painting will, it will start bleeding through the edges. So that's one thing you have to be very cautious about. So I have just taken a little bit of red color, and I'm going to make some flowers as usual, because that I think is perhaps the easiest thing to draw. So I'm just beginning in the middle. So I'm just drawing a few circles, piggly kind of things. Yeah. So as you can see, it's drying up pretty fast, because that's how this sticker paper seems to be. Like, it absorbs color very quickly. And I'm just going to make a few rosettes. You have to be very careful with the quantity of water, because if you use too much of water, it's not going to work. So that's how I have done these. So I'm just going to clean up my brush and add a little bit of greenery to this. So as you can see, my watercolor is not drippy enough, because usually I tend to add a lot of water. But this sticker paper concept is not going to work if you are adding a lot of water. So I need to add more color, like so. And you can make them in advance. I'm going to show you how I have done some. I think I don't have it with me right here, but I can just get in and okay. So you can keep them made, and then you can use them in your journals, planners, or whatever. You can send them in happy mails. These are excellent gifts. And yeah, but one thing I'm going to tell you is, when you're trying to cut something out like so, try to keep it as compact as possible as the composition. Like, there should not be much of white space in between the flowers, otherwise you'll have difficulty in cutting it out. So that's one thing that I would advise. And as you can see, I'm just moving my sticker paper. So that's done. So you have a bunch of flowers in a jiffy. So now you can go back and add a few stuff that you want. Maybe another flower over here, but this is too watery. You will see how it spreads with the other flowers. So, but never mind. So that's that. Now I can do another sort of flower too, with a different color maybe. I'll go with the blue. So let's start this over here. So try to keep your flowers as close packed as possible, because that's going to help you with the fussy cutting stuff. And another cool thing I'm going to show you if the time permits, is how to create backgrounds for your journals. So that's how I'm painting the flowers. And now I'm going to add the leaves and the stalks. So I'm going to add, okay, so now I'm going to add leaves. And you can fussy cut these out. They are excellent ephemera, sticker, and happy mail items or whatever. They instantly make your page pop, and they are so inexpensive. So that's how you can create your sticker sheet and then fussy cut these out. I wanted to show you something also, like see, when I had painted this flower, I had too much of water. So what it has done is it has spread along with the other flowers that I had already painted. If you can see it very carefully, you can see how the water has spread through. So that's one thing you have to be very careful about, spreading of the water, because it's going to leave a stain sort of thing. I might do something later on with that, but I'm not bothered much. So you can do one thing about this. So you have to be very careful about usage of water, because that's what is going to help you in painting on sticker paper. So watercolor on sticker paper is, if you're creating a background, it doesn't matter. But if you want to have a floral sort of arrangement, then I would suggest that, now you can also put blobs of color. I'm going to show you how, and then go back and draw some flower outlines. These will form flowers later on. I'm going to just, I'm not adding too much of water, because that's not going to help us in any way. Okay, and now I'm going to add some leaves. Once again, not too much of water. This is just going to be a, so it's like so, and then you can go back with your black pen and do some doodling in this and make it pop. So that's one of the things how you can paint on sticker paper, but be very careful about the water content, because as time is proceeding, you can see how the water is spreading along the edges. So you need to be very careful about that, otherwise you're going to mess up. So this is one of the things that you can do with sticker paper. And another cool thing that I had done is creating backgrounds for your stamping or journaling or hand lettering of sorts. Now I have created a background using markers. This is not watercolor, and I will show you how I did that. You can do the same thing with your markers, with your watercolors also. So let me get another sheet of sticker paper and show you. So this is my sticker paper, and I'm going to make some backgrounds with the help of marker pens and packaging. So you can do the same thing with watercolor. So first I'm going to show you how you can do that with watercolor, and then I'll show you how you can do the same thing with markers. So this is something I have splotched on a packaging, and I'm just going to take the packaging, turn it upside down, and if you want a different kind of effects, you can drag the color like so and use it up. So it depends on how much of color you're using. So if you want a very bright shine to it, I would suggest that you go with cheap markers. Crayolas will do the trick, or any marker for that matter. I have made this background using some cheap markers, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So this is actually a double tip marker, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just scribble some lines on top of this packaging, and I'm just going to put some water, and I'm going to invert this, turn it upside down, and it's up to you what kind of patterns you want. If you want a very smooshy kind of thing, then you can do this and use up the whole stuff. So you can keep on doing this pattern with different kinds of colors using your marker pens, and then you'll see it will come out like this. I have used pinks and pinks, yellows, oranges, and a little bit of blue and green, just to give it a bright pop of color. And I can hand letter on them and create cool backgrounds. I often do that in my journals, so I can go back and if I want to write, suppose Monday over here, so let me do that. I hope I am in frame, because that had been my pet peeve. So this is like Monday, and I can use this as, I can use this in my journals. So this is Tuesday and Wednesday. So you can hand letter on them and they form cool backgrounds. Then you can cut them out and use them in your journals. And you can even write like this is a very cheap quality mark brush pen that I'm using, and I'm not at all happy with it, but it does the jobs more or less, because I'm practicing right now. So you can do your hand lettering and then you can fussy cut this out and use it in your journal. That will be a cool idea. So that's how I paint my backgrounds and paint on watercolor, with watercolor on my sticker paper. So for the sticker paper, I'm going to show you now. I had made some splotches with this color, and I might go back later on and add some detailing like so, and then I might add these, and they come out pretty okay. So you can go back and add certain things, certain detailings. They have not dried yet, so it's smudging a little bit, but they won't smudge once they have dried up. They are still wet basically. I just wanted to show this. So this is how I do watercolors. So now you can add your details, you can add petals, you can doodle with your heart's content. So but you must wait till this dries, because it is not dried yet. I hope this is visible and okay with everyone. So bye now. Hope you liked it.